Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Burning Rubber Podcast, Episode 10. I'm Jake Scarborough, joined by my co-host, Fidel Fabian, Sal Zavala, and Chris Bryant. And we're here to discuss this week's topics, as well as some old ones that we left off with. Guys, how you doing today?
Doing good. Not bad. Good day.
Very good.
Pretty good day for me.
Great to hear. Well, last time we were here, we discussed the good old Super Bowl. We haven't been back since. Chris, you weren't here for that, but Fabian and Sal were. What's your guys' whole review on that? What would you guys say? Rated out of 10? You know how it goes.
I think I give this 10.
I'm gonna get I'd say 6.
Yeah, it was kind of average, very disappointing.
Yeah. I'd say, I was the only one that predicted out of everyone that was there for predictions, saying we would not see the passing of the torch, and that's exactly what we saw. We did not see that happen. Tom Brady just kind of killed the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'd agree with Chris and Sal on that, 6 out of 10. But Tom Brady with 7 rings, do you guys think he runs it back, or we won't see him back next year?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he said in his interview they'll be back, and I'm kind of scared to go against the GOAT now. So I mean, if he says they're coming back, they're coming back.
Well, it's Tom Brady. You don't really deny him a Super Bowl entry, and if you do, you get a very pissed off Tom Brady in the following year. So, I wouldn't be surprised.
The Chiefs defense saw that there in that first half.
They're like, uh-oh, we're screwed.
In my opinion, the NFC is easier than the AFC, especially since Drew Brees is gone now. I think it's going to be pretty easy to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the entire Kansas City team going into the second half, it reminds me of that clip from The Simpsons where it's the kid in the back of the bus and he's like, haha, I'm in danger. That is literally just the entire Chiefs team going into the second half. But I mean, commercials were okay. I think that's what a lot of people. The halftime show, I'd say that's a top 5 halftime show.
I like the halftime show.
I love the halftime show. It was really good.
It's funny how many memes there were when The Weeknd entered that Disney place, whatever. We did the camera.
Yeah.
So many memes about that.
Yeah. I mean, The Weeknd really did a great job on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fidel, you got anything to add on that?
Not a huge fan of The Weeknd, but I did love their performance.
All right. Well, next topic we have, oh boy, the Daytona truck race. Eek. It was, I was in pain seeing that Tanner Gray was out of the race on lap 1. In pain seeing Derek Kraus causing multiple cautions from blown tires and stuff. And then in pain when I saw Haley Deegan go head on into, or not head, did she hit the wall? I just remember she spun out on the back straightaway.
She spun on the back stretch because people don't know how to drive. Yeah. And I hit the inside the wall.
Yeah. So all 3 of my favorites for trucks just kind of spun and everything. I was really upset. I don't know about you guys.
I was just really sad to see Jordan Anderson come up second again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a solid favorite. I like Ben Rhodes because he was the first truck I ever drove in league racing, so I've always just been a fan of his. So seeing him win was pretty cool, but man, yeah, felt for Anderson again. He came up so close.
I used to like Ben Rhodes until that Christian Eckes incident.
Last year.
Yeah.
Fidel, you got anything to put on the truck race?
It was an average truck race, mostly a wreckfest throughout the race, but okay finish. Kind of like it's been for the past 5 to 10 years. He had Daytona for a truck race.
Hmm. I think everyone's got to feel bad for Roper and Anderson, both
Yeah.
underfunded teams, and both just came up so short. Next topic, the Xfinity race.
Classic.
What Cindric won.
I'm happy. I'm a Cindric fan.
Yeah, we both are, and I don't know how Sal and Fidel feel about it.
Yeah, kind of how you felt about the truck race. I pull for the JRM guys, and seeing them all taken out and basically the same wreck kind of hurt. But a really underwhelming finish, if I had to say the least.
It's classic Xfinity where they just train on the top lane.
Yeah.
It's really all they do at super speedways.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Xfinity race. You know, the truck race had its moments, and then it had a good finish, and then we'll get on to Cup here in a minute. But yeah, the Xfinity race was definitely the snooze fest of all three.
I gotta say, before you move on, I was really disappointed when Brandon Jones wrecked.
I was really disappointed when Landon Castle wrecked.
Yeah.
I was sitting there just screaming, Castle!
So there's a car stuck in the grass, and everyone at the race was just cheering for him when he got out of the grass. It was number 6 car. I don't know who was
It
driving.
was Ryan Vargas, yeah.
Yeah.
Fidel, you got anything to add for the Xfinity race?
Well, it was my first race I actually get to watch as a family. My brother and my sister-in-law came over, and my dad decided to watch the race with me. So we all just had a nice family huddle, watch the race. They're more interested in the wrecks. I was more interested in the racing. We all had a fun time.
Fair enough. Me and Sal had to watch it just in a PlayStation party, and then Chris, you know, being there at the track for the whole weekend. You're still in Florida for the road courses, aren't you?
Yes, I will. I'll be going to all 3 series again.
Oh my, you are one lucky person.
I am. I'm very grateful.
Real trooper.
Yeah, and they're gonna go to Pocono later this year and New Hampshire. So
oh my goodness.
Me, I'm going to Pocono later this year.
Yeah, but you know, people will be in the stands. I'll be where the campers are in the in the middle of the tunnel turn and turn 3.
I'll try to throw something over the track to you.
Okay.
All right. Well, next topic, the Daytona 500 itself. I think there is no denying the what is it? The story continues every 10 years. Someone gets their first Cup win. 2001, Michael Waltrip. 2011, Trevor Bayne. 2021, Michael McDowell. I'd say that was a great race in general, and then just that finish added on top of it. Sucks to see Keselowski lose another one, but Michael McDowell just sitting right there, being right there in the catbird seat and winning that. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I was kind of mad that Denny didn't get the 3-peat, but I mean, you can't win everything, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely cool to see first time winner. As a Chase fan, it hurts a little to come up so close to Crown Jewel again, but it's really cool to see an underdog story again.
I liked McDowell winning the 500, but something about that 500 just gave me a bad taste in my mouth. Like I watched a movie, all the important characters just died early, and then the background character decided to win the final battle.
Yeah, the lap 14 crash.
I mean, hey, I can't really blame. I don't really know who to blame for that final lap crash, though. It's like Logano threw a late block. Keselowski went for a very dangerous move, and then McDowell giving him that push. I'd just say it's racing. I don't see why people are running around blaming any of those three.
I think so. From what I saw, I think Brad Keselowski got Michael McDowell gave Brad Keselowski too big of a push, and when Brad was too slow to make the move, so he actually hit Joey's left rear and spun Joey.
Well, here's another thing. People can't complain about Michael McDowell giving too much of a push because, remember, Keselowski's the same one last year that said he isn't lifting for anybody. So
Exactly.
people can't blame McDowell for that. He's just doing to Keselowski what Keselowski was doing to everyone else. He wasn't lifting. And, things happen in races. All Keselowski and McDowell going for their first Daytona 500s. McDowell, especially his first ever win. Logano, I mean, he's got so much on the shelf, but also a Daytona 500 victory. Especially on that final lap, you're not going to be paying attention to who's your teammate and who isn't. You're just trying to get to the front on that final lap if you're not there already.
And you try to time the run perfectly, too, so just a lot of things go into it.
Yeah. But overall, I'd say it was a good race.
Yeah.
That last lap thing, I mean, what I'm interested in is, I mean, Brad's called out Logano a couple times for throwing bad blocks. The most recent one that comes to mind is the clash from last year. And he obviously looked pretty upset because, I mean, this time it cost him a 500.
Yeah.
So kind of going to be interesting to see. If I'm not mistaken, Brad is in a contract year, so kind of be interesting to see if that helps make any decisions on anything in the future.
Maybe. I think it's going to be one of those years where Penske's going to look at it as, who's the better driver out of you two. That will help his decision. But then again, he's got so much money that would Roger even care if the cars are totaled at certain tracks? Like,
not really, though. I don't think so.
I mean, you never know. That could just be nothing to him. We don't know how he feels about it, and we haven't heard anything directly from Roger. But it would definitely be interesting to see what Penske's going to do about Keselowski being in this contract year, and then Logano moving forward.
Yeah.
Next topic. I feel like a lot of people are upset about this, especially after saying he was going to do part-time trucks and full-time Xfinity. Jordan Anderson will not be able to compete in the Xfinity series, even though he was set to run 4 points in full-time. He can't run for the next 4 months because of NASCAR's decision to not do qualifying. Him being a fan favorite, this has a lot of people upset, me being one of them. I don't think that's right that he doesn't get a fair shot at qualifying into races, but I guess that's just the charter system for you. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
It really sucks because he has a lot of potential, and I feel like he needs to show it, but he can't with the format of how they do it without qualifying.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that
we're gonna do this again.
I mean, yeah, it stinks. I mean, I'm not one. I get why NASCAR does it and stuff, but I mean, you just pulled off having all 3 series do it in the same place, just adding the road course now, and so I get. Like I said, I get what they're trying to do, but now you're costing starting up team and like Jordan Anderson, someone who's been in the sport for a couple years now, and now he's ineligible to drive any Xfinity until May when they go to Circuit of the Americas. That's the next qualifying event. So, oh no, Bristol Dirt.
Yeah, that's late March.
So yeah,
I think it.
Go ahead.
I think the complete no qualifying, no practice thing for the rest of the season is just absolutely stupid. Last year it made sense. We were just in the start of the heat of a pandemic. No one knew what to do. NASCAR, they're like, all right, we gotta separate you guys as much as possible, but still have fans cheering for you. So just races only, no practice, no qualifying. That made sense. we're going into a new year. We saw F1, they were able to do practice and qualifying. We saw IndyCar, they were able to do practice and qualifying. I don't know what the hell NASCAR is doing. I still have no idea why they're not doing practice and qualifying. The people at Fox and technically now USA Network, they're telling NASCAR, hey, if you don't get practice and qualifying, we're done here. And it's really starting to make me mad because as a Cowboys fan, Cowboys, he goes off of practice just to make his car right. And basically, while practice and qualifying last year, it just completely ruined the season. And that could just be me being a baby about it, but it hurts the car chiefs, it hurts the crew chiefs, it hurts the pit crew members because they have to prepare the car right. You saw what happened with Denny Hamlin at Charlotte when that ballast weight fell off his car and they had to go do a penalty. If they had practice last season, maybe they were able to fix that way earlier. And that basically just screwed them for the whole entire, I think it was Coke 600.
Yes, it was.
Like, I do agree with you there, Fabian, because, all right, like, being a Matt DiBenedetto fan, I now have to watch the Daytona Road Course and see him start 36th because he wrecked out in the 500. And then we're going to see stuff like, sure, we see cool things, especially after the 500, how Michael McDowell is going to be starting in second. But that's not the point. NASCAR needs to let these guys qualify because now you're making it impossible for some of these guys that had just had one bad race to even have a shot at a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Dillon, sorry, Sal. He didn't get the race last year because he was sick or something. Cascarell had to fill for him. So the only experience he has is the IMSA for the Rolex 24 and the Clash.
Yeah, and then adding to that, you got the Rick Ware racing cars somewhere in mid-pack, I think. So, I mean, you're just putting those guys in the way of people who can go up there and compete, like the Ryan Blaney's, Bowman, I think Byron's back there.
It's just a shame to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do think NASCAR should make a decision hopefully at some point this season and implement it where we get practice and qualifying back full time this year, or if not, at least next year, because a lot of people don't like this move, and I think we can all come to the agreement that it was a very dumb decision, especially when other sports were able to do it last year.
And continuing what Sal said, like Corey LaJoie is starting 7th, and he does not have a fast enough car to keep up with them. That's going to slow down like Keselowski, DiBenedetto, Bowman, all of them behind them.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you can put Chase Elliott in the back of the field at the Clash and then say, oh, well, he went from last and he almost won the thing. But here's the thing, that's half the field, and that's also a bunch of competitive cars. You don't have to worry about the Rick Ware cars. You don't have to worry about the Spire cars. You don't have to worry about these underfunded teams that don't have the same pace. Now they do. And there's a bunch of people in that field that don't even have experience with the track. So you're throwing them into a race blindfolded, basically.
Yeah.
But it was a stupid move in general, in my opinion. But
yeah, I don't like it. But I mean, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like Florida doesn't make sense because down here, like half the people wear masks. 90% of the people actually don't. It just like I don't know.
Well, moving on, we have, would this even be considered silly season? I doubt it. But we got informed this morning that John Hunter Nemechek will be running a few select races for Sam Hunt Racing in the Xfinity Series in the 26. I really think that's an interesting move for John Hunter to do that. I don't really understand why Sam Hunt, but then again, we've got Santino Ferrucci there too, and was it Brandon Godvik? I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Them three sharing the car. I don't see it being competitive, but I don't see it being in the back of the field each week.
I think that John Hunter has a lot of talent, so I think this actually show us as if his talent can make most of an underfunded team. So I think he can bring it to mid pack, maybe even top 15.
Kind of like how we saw with Castle in the '89.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering, and they didn't compete at Daytona, did they?
The 26 it did.
It did?
I think it got a top 10. It was Brandon Godvik.
No, so I mean that's Daytona, more of a draft track, but I'm really curious to see because I think all his tracks are ovals. It's going to be really interesting to see what they bring to like the intermediate tracks and see exactly where they want to stand. Because I mean, this could either be a really good move for Nemechek or just another like kind of experience.
I want experience, yeah.
Yeah, just some experience to go get out there.
Fabian?
John Hunter's move to Sam Hunt Racing is a bit questionable because he barely even touched the KBN trucks. We all know that those KBN trucks are very fast. He could just have a William Byron type season this year, just winning 7 races and possibly a championship if his motor doesn't blow by the end of the year. And I don't know why he just automatically decides to sign a contract next season for Xfinity.
Well, it's not for next season. It's this season part-time.
All right. For this season part-time, where he should be focusing more on the team he's on right now in the trucks, because he does want to have a kind of a restart in his career. He ended up in front row last year, not one of the best teams in the Cup Series. So he just wants to rethink his career, go back down to trucks, try to do all over again. Right now, he's on a good team. I think he should be more focusing on that team, less focus on the Xfinity Series. Maybe start thinking about the Xfinity Series after you're done with like your second season in trucks.
The one reason I could think of why he did that, sign that, is because I think he wanted to show his potential and how much he can do, and like have the other teams watch out for him to see if they could sign him. Like see how good he can do in an underfunded car.
Well, I have nothing else to add. Do you guys?
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, last thing to discuss: Daytona road course predictions. Who wants to go first?
I think it's gonna be a battle between Blaney and Chase, just like in the Clash.
What about Xfinity and trucks?
For trucks, we don't know. We honestly don't know. Trucks, they did touch. Trucks did touch the Daytona road course last season, but this season completely different. Now you had Haley Deegan in the one for DGR. The DGR looking a little bit more competitive this season than they last season. It could be who won it last season? Sheldon Creed.
Yeah.
It could be Sheldon Creed dominating again, but who knows? Maybe someone else new can be a new mixing factor.
Yeah, I think Chase gets the 5th road course points paying race in a row. And Xfinity, I'm going with AJ Allmendinger. I feel like it's going to be a show between him and Cindric, like most of these road courses are going to be. But AJ's experience is going to pay off here. And for trucks, I got Brett Moffitt.
I was going to say something Sam, but I want to say I think Hamlin can get it done because he came up short last year. I think Cup would be Hamlin. Xfinity, it's probably be Allmendinger. I think Allmendinger. Trucks. See, I go with the underdog pick. I'm gonna pick Zane Smith. He got the pole last year, but that was obviously off of thing. But I think Zane Smith can get it done.
You guys may call me crazy. Cup? Isn't Allmendinger in the 16?
Yes, he is.
Allmendinger's winning Cup. Xfinity? Allmendinger's winning Xfinity. Then for trucks, I'm going to say the guy that starts on the outside pole, John Hunter Nemechek.
All right.
See, the one reason I don't like the Allmendinger pick is because I don't think that team is funded enough. Well, they have a lot of money, but I don't think a team's gonna be fast enough to be able to run, stay up with the leaders. Like he's a great driver behind the wheel. I just don't think that team's gonna have enough funding to stay up with the leaders.
I mean, we could also look back at when he won with JTG and at Watkins Glen. That no one thought of that team winning a race, and there they were. If they put enough money into that car and they put enough work into it, I think that it could be up there. And sure, it may have hurt them since Kaz had the issue in the 500, and they're going to be starting mid to back of the pack. I still think Allmendinger will pull through.
He's starting 34th. Allmendinger is.
I'm still sticking to my word.
Henry, it could be Bowman start 36th.
Oh. Yikes. See, this is why we need to bring back qualifying, guys. This is why.
Because someone's gonna, like a Rick Ware racing car, is gonna break so much, and then Alex Roman's probably gonna plow into him and just break his radiator or something.
Although I'm a fan of the Mike Harmon cars, it's gonna look like how when they restarted side by side.
As much as I wanted them to do good that race and saw them up front, that went
they
south
both
so
missed
quick.
turn one. But you never know what you'll see. It's a new track for a lot of people, so we'll see what happens. But I think that about wraps it up. What about you guys?
I'm good.
Sal, Fabian?
I think this is all right to end the show.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on the Burning Rubber podcast. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be discussing everything that's happened from the Daytona Road Course, then going into whatever track's next. Isn't it like Atlanta?
It should be Vegas.
Oh, it's
I think that's when they go to the West Coast swing.
Oh, well.
I have to skip right here. We're going to Homestead after the road course.
Oh, yeah, it's Homestead. I'm sorry.
Homestead, yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, well.
And trucks take an off week.
We have an off week. So they're going to Florida back to back to back, and then they're just like, all right, off week, West Coast swing.
There's an off week? What? Why would you have an off week? Oh, for trucks.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah, trucks is just a 2-race schedule. Well, it's 2 times a year.
All right. Well, that wraps everything up on the Burning Rubber podcast. We'll see you guys next week with our Daytona Road Course review and predictions into Homestead. Maybe we'll get everyone here, all 7 of us. That will be a interesting show. But thank you guys for coming on tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you then.